Hi, welcome to Tech Ed Live from sunny Las Vegas. I'm your host, Darryl Gray, Vice President of SAP eChannels. And today I have with me Dan Maloney, Global Vice President of SAP Channels. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you, Darryl.
You're welcome. Today's topic is the SAP Store and the consumerization of the enterprise.
Yes.
Quite a mouthful.
Yes.
You know, in the marketplace today, we see a convergence of mobile, cloud, app stores, social media, all of this coming together in a vortex to create what we call the consumerization of the enterprise. Help us understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. I mean, I think you said it right. I mean, if you think about these elements of mobile, cloud, social, the billions of devices around the world that are literally taking over our lives, and really have taken over our consumer lives over the past 5 to 10 years. It's been an incredible ride. I think what we're seeing now is, this is often the case, when in the consumer world, you get comfortable with the way of living your day-to-day life and the luxuries that come along with some of that, connectivity, the beautiful apps that you're seeing and so on in the consumer world. It's natural for a consumer that then switches into their enterprise role, puts on their enterprise hat to say, hey, listen, I expect to see a lot of the beautiful things that I've seen in my consumer life, and I want that simplicity in the enterprise place. So that really is really driven a lot of different dynamics for us, the enterprise space, for SAP, and the way we build products, the way we integrate social dynamics into our products, the way we now have to rethink about all our products in a mobile world, available 24/7, 365 in the cloud. And by the way, that also makes us think differently about how we actually engage with our customers and our experiences, and of course the SAP Store along with that.
Makes sense. So expecting the iPhone applications to be readily available for the enterprise, it's tall order. I mean, we haven't really been there yet. So
Definitely.
Tell me, you're the Global Vice President of eChannels. What does it mean for the eChannels business? How is that, when we think about the consumerization of the enterprise, what is SAP doing about that today?
Yeah, well, I think it's really interesting. Over the past, I would say, probably 5 or so years in the consumer space, there's been a radical shift that's taken place. I mean, classically, you used to, when you were going out and doing your shopping, or engaging with a vendor, or a retailer, or whatever that might be, you classically head out to your mall, you jump in the car, throw the kids in with you, you head out for a nice weekend shopping trip, and you go around, hit 5 stores, 10 stores, these different dynamics, and you pick out your clothes or whatever it is, and you come back home, and that was shopping, and that was engaging with the real retailers, et cetera. What happened about 5 years ago with Apple and others, Apple's, Amazon's, eBay's, and really even before that, but really specifically in the past 5 years with the introduction of app stores and new types of applications being built because of this interconnectivity, these new devices, all these aspects, they literally reinvented or reimagined the way that you shop, and the way that you can do that now online. I mean, if you look at what Amazon and Apple and so on have done, they've now really reinvented the way solutions or applications can be delivered. I mean, classically, like I said, if you were to go out and get your paraphernalia, whatever that might be, from software to a shirt, like I said, it was classically you're going out to those big retail shops and you're doing it that way.
Yep.
This type of channel that they've now become accustomed to, going into the App Store, finding your apps real quick, downloading it, 99 cents, and you're off and running, that's a radical shift. And now we say in enterprise, hey, we're reinventing ourselves as far as the applications we're building, but we need to reinvent ourselves as far as the delivery and how we enhance the customer experience and that buying experience. And really, that's what our enterprise app store approach, that's what the SAP Store is really all about. How can we now make the thousands of applications from SAP and our ecosystem and services from SAP and that ecosystem readily available 24/7, 365, and by the way, start taking some of that consumerization capabilities, ratings and reviews, social aspects, buying at one click. People expect to get when they're ready to buy, they want to get it in 5 minutes.
Just
not
like
5
the Apple
weeks.
App Store, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
that shift is really what's driving our whole business of eChannels and our relationship being redefined with our customers and partners.
So SAP has an enterprise buying capability today called the SAP Store that you're now responsible for. You and I have worked together for a couple years now, and I've seen you be the advocate and the evangelist of getting ready for that consumerization of the enterprise by SAP, and really be able to service our customers in that way, because I think they do expect to be serviced that way going forward. So really, how we talk about the SAP Store, how has that manifested itself inside of SAP today?
Sure. I mean, you and I, like I think you noted, we've been on this path for several years together. And I would say there's really been a shift inside of SAP from where we were when we got the ball rolling 4 or 5 years ago with these crazy guys and this crazy idea about SAP doing things over the internet or buying software and services over the internet.
Why would anybody want to do that?
That's right. Why, our software is, we're solving complex problems. Our software is very sophisticated. People are not going to want to buy our stuff online. We've done it well for 40 years with our direct sales force and our vast ecosystem.
Right.
What are you talking about? But when you start thinking about the expectations from the customer that also are consumer one day and then enterprise, in the next day. When you start thinking about the ability with online to service your customers in new ways that you've never seen before, the insight that you can gather to better serve your customer, and again, that success in the consumer world, that's taken us from where 4 years ago, a couple crazy guys, to now, we can't move fast enough to service SAP, to service our ecosystem, and our customers are really demanding that and enjoying that experience. So, yeah, it's been a crazy ride, but it's nice to see that I think the enterprise is now catching up to the consumer space, and yeah, the SAP Store itself has radically shifted. When we got started 4 years ago, it was about starting with the baseline of helping to promote really a marketplace to highlight some of our partners, to now really being a place where you can discover, evaluate, buy software and services from SAP and partners, as well as immediately deploy that. And really across all of our market categories, whether, in the background here we've got, HANA, so whether it's in our big data, database and technology area and analytics, whether it's across mobile, cloud, traditional applications, there's nothing that we don't touch on the SAP Store, and I think that mindset is the right approach. Our customers expect when they come into the SAP Store to see everything that SAP and its ecosystem has to offer. And that's really what our focus has been. And again, improving that scalability, the functionality, the richness for our customers and partners around that experience.
That makes a lot of sense. So, you talked a little bit about the Apple App Store, the consumer experience. Let's make it real for the SAP customers out here watching this. I mean, enterprise buying is a lot more complex.
Yes.
The ability to just download a weather app, for example, on my iPhone and be able to consume that right then and there for $1.99 seems very simplistic in comparison to what you're talking about when you look at the whole gamut of SAP solutions, as well as the partner ecosystem that's out there providing solutions on top of some of SAP's applications.
Yes.
Make it real for these guys from a tangibility standpoint. What's out there today? How is it different than the consumer experience?
Sure, no, that's a great question. I mean, in a sense, we're talking about the consumerization right now of IT or the enterprise more broadly. But it's not a one-to-one match. We didn't just go out and say, let's replicate exactly what Apple does with Apple App Store, because it's not a direct.
You can, right?
Yeah, it's apples to oranges, right? I mean, we often make the note about going out 99 cents and get your Angry Birds and being off and running.
Love Angry Birds, by the way.
Well, first and foremost, for us, it's not just about mobile, right? It's about mobile, but I also talked about cloud applications, database and technology. It's about analytics. It's about our entire portfolio from SAP and its ecosystem. So first, that's a major difference, and thus the complexities associated with how you buy those and consume those are radically different. For example, in an enterprise app store, do we have the capability for a customer to buy with a credit card? Sure. But 99% of the purchases that our customers do have nothing to do with pulling out a corporate credit card.
Sure.
So we have to support that traditional kind of invoicing process.
PO process.
But that invoicing PO, we need to automate it in the e-invoicing process. So customers can come in with being a authorized or enterprise buyer within our store. Look at, for example, I see Afaria right around the corner here. Maybe look at a solution for mobile device management. Want to buy 50 seats of Afaria to help manage and secure their mobile devices and applications with that. They can make that purchase via an e-invoice, via an electronic PO in a sense. We know the customer, we know their discount, we can run the compatibility checks to make sure the software that they're buying runs in their environment. We package all that up, and again, that customer can get that software still in that instantaneous manner. Buying SAP software from discovery all the way through purchase in less than 5 minutes is a radical shift for SAP.
Yeah.
But we had to add so many more dynamics, like I said, around the buying, around the compatibility checks, around the vastness of our portfolio, but yet still make it Amazon, Sesame Street simple.
Yeah, friendly, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
which is quite a feat.
Right.
To be able to do that. So, wow, it's come a long way since we started.
Sure. Sure,
so,
definitely.
You talked about kind of the 5 market categories that you just hit on that SAP's focused on. If I were to go to the SAP store today, or say in the near future here in 2013, what can I expect to see? I mean, what's out there today?
Sure. Well, I mean, let me take that in 2 approaches. First, let me talk about the solutions that are available to our customers. What is the 1,700 or so solutions that we have across the SAP store out there. And let me talk a little bit maybe even about some of the functionality or richness that's there to enhance their buying experience as well for our customers and partners. So first and foremost, like I said, here we've been talking about across our market categories, but really when you go into the SAP store, depending on who you are as a customer, you might care about looking at solutions from a verticalization or industry point of view. So if you're Coca-Cola, you're very interested in the food and beverage solutions that might be out in the SAP store from SAP and its ecosystem. You also might be over at Siemens and heading up marketing. So really you're coming in with more of a line of business hat on and looking at what are the marketing solutions that SAP and the ecosystem have to offer. And then yes, of course, you might want to know, hey, that marketing solution I wanted, mobilized for my marketing, resources out in an event, for example. So you can slice and dice, to your heart's delight on vertical, on line of business, on a market category, on what country you're in, what solutions are available. In addition, the store is localized. So when not only do we help customers come in and find the right solution, we have the right solution in the language of their choice.
So if I come in a German store, I get German. If it's the US, I get English.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
cool.
And we're ultimately expanding out. So I think we support about 11 different languages across the store right now, associated currencies with that. And again, you'll see the store expand out more to be available in every language, currency. It'll be localized for our customers and where they do business. So that's going to continue throughout 2013. Like I said, as far as the solutions though, it's really vast across the board. And like I said, right now you'll see about 1,700 or so solutions across the SAP store.
Wow, that's expansive.
And we expect to see that grow at 50% or so every year because again, the market trends, the mobile, the cloud, these elements, we're engaging with a whole new type of partner sets. Even with HANA, I see the startups that we're engaging with that we've never touched before.
Yeah.
So as our ecosystem grows, more solutions become available, and as we have solutions that touch people in much more broad base, really almost building solutions out for the consumer, you'll see the store have to grow to meet that demand. And again, the beautiful thing is the store can have a solution that's a $50,000 per user solution or free, right? So free and paid apps will all be available together in the SAP store.
And you get the bang of that huge multiplier effect of the partner community that we have that's so vast. So,
that's right.
So absolutely amazing that it's come that far. So last question, as we start to run out of time here, let's bring it back full circle. We started to talk about the consumerization of the enterprise. We're here at TechEd.
Right.
We're blasted with all these social media capabilities now.
Streaming live right now.
Yeah, exactly. TV and Twitter streams, blogging, Facebook, LinkedIn. Really bring kind of this type of community together. How does that manifest itself in an online environment like the SAP store? If you were kind of to look into the future, how do you start to tap into all that cool stuff that's coming in the social media space? Sure.
I mean, let's just be clear. I mean, we have to engage with our customers, our partners, the audience that comes to the SAP store differently than traditional SAP, account executive or sales teams, right? They have a personal connection, one-on-one, spending time out with the Nikes of the world, the Siemens of the world, the Coca-Colas, the Pepsis, et cetera. Yeah. They have that personal relationship. We have to engage online. So in a sense, social really empowers what we do. It's social commerce is really a term that I often talk about. How do we take advantage of those social networks, you talked about the Twitters, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, et cetera, and the Pinterest and so on. We have to look at all these social capabilities as new ways to listen to our customers, listen to our partners, engage with them in unique ways, reach them, collect feedback in mass from them, and as well embed those social capabilities into our solutions. So you'll see an enhancement in the ratings and reviews of the solutions online, the reputations being built around people. So you could imagine a review from somebody inside Coca-Cola, again as an example, if they review a solution in the food and beverage industry on the SAP store, another person with inside Coca-Cola would really value that.
Sure,
so you'll see a lot more of that coming over the next several years. And I would say if we look maybe 2-3 years out, we have this SAP store today as kind of a separate, almost like Apple does with an app store. But we see the SAP store slowly but surely being embedded or more pervasive into other areas like the entire buying experience across .com, our community network, into our products. So you could imagine in the future, you could be using an SAP product or a partner product and you need to buy an additional 5 licenses. You can do that right within the product.
Right from the solution.
That's right. You're using an SAP product around finance and you need to import some content or expand the financial reconciliation capabilities with a partner solution. You do that right in context of the product. So that in-product commerce is going to be much more relevant, much more pervasive over the next several years. And we even see it going further than that. A lot of our customers now are starting to say, hey, I love this public SAP store that you've got, but really once I make the acquisition of software solutions and services and so on, I want to pull those down into my company store. So a Coca-Cola branded store, for example, where only solutions that are relevant to my enterprise. So we see a connection between the public store and the company store becoming more relevant, and then ultimately maybe that even going out into their consumer products, whether it's in the automotive area. You might see in the multimedia interfaces in cars in the future, store-like capabilities embedded in there. So really we're kind of at, just walking.
Right.
We're at the 1.0 of this app store in the enterprise, and the consumer elements are going to be, threading themselves, very uniquely and very tightly into the enterprise app store.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I can tell you're very excited about it. I'm excited about it. I hope our customers get excited about it as well. So I'd encourage you to go to sapstore.com, check it out for yourselves. Dan, that was extremely insightful, I think, for our customers, and I'm looking forward to their feedback when they go hit it. So thanks again for your time, and it's a pleasure being here at Tech Ed Live with you.
Always enjoy it, Darryl.
Thanks very much.
Yep, thanks for the time.
Yeah.